Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Planning and Highways Committee meeting of Attleborough Town Council being held today on Monday, the 20th of May, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Going down the agenda, the first item is to elect a committee chairman as we're in the new council year.
And I propose that Councillor Westby stays where he is because he has.
I'm happy to.
Not-
Everyone's got no objections. Okay, thank you very much. Vote of confidence.
All in
Well,
favour?
everyone.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, all in favour.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Item 2, to elect a committee vice chairman. Can I propose Councillor Tyler?
I'll second it.
There's no objection?
Well, he's just said he'll be vice chair, so.
Yeah.
I'll stay here, so I'm not disrupting the meeting.
Yeah.
All in favour? Unanimous?
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you very much.
Right, so we'll start the meeting afresh now and welcome everybody. Item 4, apologies for absence.
Yeah, we've just got Councillor Reynolds.
Councillor Reynolds, yeah. Item 5, declarations of interest. Anybody got any interest or pecuniary interest in any of the matters that of consideration? No? Good. Item 6, first public participation. 2 rows in the Rose Gallery. I'll take that as a no then. Item 7, minutes of the Planning and Highways Committee meeting dated the 13th of May 2024 for acceptance and approval. Anybody got any comments or? Yeah, sure.
I propose that we accept them.
Okay. Councillor Tyra second, I'll vote in favour of that as well.
Yeah.
Carried unanimously.
Well, majority, 1 abstention. Oh, 2 abstention. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because they weren't.
Okay, so,
present.
yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Item number 8.
Yeah, that we
Sorry.
voted, haven't we? Yeah.
Item number 8, planning matters. First subsection A, planning applications, reference 3PL 2024 0379 HOU. 15 Worcester Way in Attleborough, small rear and side single story extension. I've got no issue with that. Very uninspiring, but apart from that. Absolutely, no objection whatsoever. It's within keeping of the situation. Second item, 3PL 2024-0413 VAR, land north of Blackthorn Road in Attleborough, variation of condition 13 for acoustic fencing. Really, isn't it? The report that was submitted suggests that it is an improvement. We have to first one.
if the resolution is to be passed on the local notes to be submitted, can I have it in saying, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else got any comments? No comments? No comments.
Yeah.
We just take a vote on that on block.
Yeah, majority with 1 abstention, which is 10.
Item number 9, the neighbourhood plan update and consideration of resolution.
Yeah, right, okay, I was sent along to have an initial meeting with the company, Community Collective, and Collective Community, should I say. We just sort of set out a brief resume of what will happen. So they recommended that we create the steering group from now on. They sort of recommended about 8 to 10 people for starters. You don't want it too big and you don't want it too small. Obviously to take perhaps recommendations from us and approaches to various parties in the community. So you have one for health, have one for business, one for housing, transport and education, perhaps, and environment. So if you like, I will provide you with the list of names that I could think of, and then obviously if you
So then each of those interested parties had one seat on the steering group, then?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. And
okay.
then you've got a fair representation
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like, you know, abilities and interests and that sort of thing. I don't know if you obviously got any other suggestions, but seems logical to me.
That
And
was,
it's
that
sort
was in
of
line with what
Yeah.
the AMP originally was.
falls in line with the themes as well, which is
Yeah.
useful.
But
Yeah.
also, if may add, it's a review, but it's not a major review.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'd like to suggest that names in the room or periodically invited.
Yeah.
And also, make it ready
Oh, yeah.
just for
Yeah.
keeping informed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and they also said you could look at who was on the steering group the last time, but I understand there's a couple of parties who've passed away. So it
We
might
were,
be.
weren't we, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For our sins.
Hours.
Yeah, but hopefully it shouldn't be so onerous this time because you've got something to work with this team. If you look at starting from scratch, then advertise the you know, the fact that you're going to have a neighbourhood plan review, set your terms of reference, agree provisional dates for the project plan with a timetable. And also within that, once the group is in operation, to review the effectiveness of the neighbourhood plan. That's going to be your first port of call, and what your expectations are for that time plan and how it could possibly be different. How could it differ, if you like? And then obviously, I mean, they did go into a little more detail, but I won't put that for here. And then when obviously they will start then formulating some projects to be delivered. They've obviously done some of their homework because they noticed that we're working on Jubilee Wood. They're talking about the net bio gain with the credits for anything plus 10%, as they mentioned. So there are things that, you know, can be brought into it which weren't there the last time, I think was the message they were trying to say. And at that point, they would then start on an evidence base. They would look at all of the headings, and then they would start to give their direction on the headings that we've set out. And then they gave me, they asked me to send them the town delivery plan. And they asked for, there's an encyclopedic document from Breckland, which is, it basically gives you lots and lots of information about the town, which is in addition to the town delivery plan. So Megan is going to send me the link to send to them. And that's it really. Yeah, so would you like me to start formulating a list and then I'll forward it to the committee and you can have a look at it and then,
Please,
yeah, see if you approve it type thing? Yeah, suggestions?
it will evolve.
Yeah, but this is obviously the very first step.
Yeah, starting point, isn't it?
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
But they seemed really knowledgeable. They seemed really enthusiastic about the town, which I thought was really good. And obviously, when we set the steering group in motion, they will head each one with me supporting them, and hopefully Megan as well to support in terms of officer,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. Okay.
Good.
Again, just transparency. And we discussed this when we were appointed. I know them personally. Norfolk County Council.
You know them personally? Do you
Well,
know them
I
like
work-
colleague-wise?
Colleague one.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Okay. Not personally, yeah.
When I was working at Moffat Donald's partnership to County Council.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah.
Okay. From Norfolk County Council.
I've spoken to them a few times.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. All right.
Anything else to add on that? No, anybody else? No, good. Item 10, cemetery land for consideration and resolution.
Yeah, I mean, we have now engaged the company CBS. they've only just written to me yesterday to say thank you for the business and they look forward to working with us in future. So that's exactly where I am with that. So again, I think they've suggested again a short meeting. So I've invited them to Attleborough and we're both in there, but obviously I haven't set a date. I mean, does anybody else want to attend the meeting with me? Anyone else?
Put it in your mouth, isn't it?
Purely developed.
Yeah. Vera, yeah, anybody else?
I don't mind.
Yeah,
I don't want to oversaturate with councillors.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's
okay,
really
no.
nice to keep it small.
but it's a big project, isn't it? And we're starting to
Small.
expect from, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it's not overcrowding, I'll attend.
I think it's there. I
Yeah,
think
oh, yeah,
it's
true,
Good protocol.
yeah,
It can attend.
Yeah.
Do so.
all righty.
Okay, item number 11, car parking.
Yes,
Through the chair, can I ask councillor Taylor if Brecon have actually sorted anything out yet?
So,
Or are we
Brecon Council,
still-
with their car parking survey, so that they had all of their car parks, the Brecon car parks, the district surveyed, I think it's last July. And at the time, I went to, I think it was James Hopkins, and he said to me, because I said it would make sense to do this, like join up, join both of them on the same page. And he said, well, if the town council want to commission their own surveys with the same company, for their car parks, we can share our data with the town council and likewise to get a bigger picture. But obviously there would be a slight point in some of the privately owned car parks in the supermarkets, Concord, Great Anglia at the train station. Which I did suggest to Sharon, perhaps we could approach Brecon and say, well, would you like to meet in the middle? I don't know if that would be pushed back or if it would be accepted, but I think it would be a good starting point for discussion. But all of their car parks have no survey and has to be created.
And
So
they
that
haven't
would be
moved forward. The other car parks you mentioned were all privately owned.
That's what I said.
So-
That's what I meant. So, but I think if we wrote to them and got their permission, if we wanted like an accurate representation of what's happened across the town with car parking and generally like the availability of spaces, or you know, where it's being used, what gets the best church, if it's being used, whether it's being used like for you know, residential or you know, what purposes. I think if we approached the companies or the owners of those car parks and said, would you mind if we undertook a survey? We don't expect you to pay for it. That would be part of that process. But if they said no, obviously then that would be.
Being the devil's disciple, I can't see any point in that because they're all restricted anyway. You know, the Lidl's is restricted for shopping, Sainsbury's is restricted for shopping. The station you pay.
Yeah.
So
I think it would tell you what times of day they're busy, what times are quiet, when you might need parking available so that you don't get the displacement or, I think, yeah, you can get either way.
but we can certainly,
I think there has to be discussion before we make any firm decisions. I think it's engagement.
I am a broken record. And Vera knows it's been about 12 years.
I forgive you.
There you go. So it's good that Brecon are engaging, looking at the road. I think a conversation and it might be involved in that. Perhaps it goes through the ADP, which I think it should do. Ideally, is when you do car parking strategy, you look at all available parking spaces, be it private, be it public, be it whatever, and you look at how many spaces are available, what uses are. So the survey is great, you know, but that's not coming up with strategy. That's just giving you data. And what we need to do is then use that.
Use the data
So,
to determine what needs
What
doing.
is the strategy?
Yeah.
You know, going forward. And it's taken a long time to get here. So I'm probably more responsible for that than anyone else. But if we can do that with breakfast.
Yeah.
So it's not just a survey, it's okay, what we're going to do with that.
Yeah.
And what else?
We need a survey information first, though,
And
yeah.
as councillor Dale said, you know, there's private parking as well.
Yeah.
You need to understand that because there is displacement.
It's all impacts, because if the private car parks fill, they then overspill
got-
the public ones
they
and
got-
vice versa.
You've gone the streets.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it's capturing all that and to try and finally get a full picture of that and understand what we can do.
Mm.
Won't be perfect, but
Yes,
you know, in Brecon a while ago, I said it would finance, help finance feasible study. Let's do that rather than just saying let's just do a survey. It's okay, but what we're going to do.
Well, can we put something concrete in place to get this moving? Particularly if Brecton's already done that. We don't catch you.
I'm looking at. District council.
Well, I was thinking, the first point of call might be good for Sharon to engage Megan and just see if we can get something, maybe a discussion or a team's call with James or some of the relevant officers.
See what
that have
dates
been-
they've
that have
already
been
got.
working on this, and talk about sharing data and
Yeah.
obviously what the potential is to kind of those void areas that obviously are the responsibility of either council.
And they are asked. Got to be involved in the team's meeting.
Well, I don't see why not, I was just going to Sharon. So I just thought,
But just.
officers, I feel like sometimes can talk more.
Sharon being a forefront. That introduced. Name, you know.
Yeah, it's up to the committee. If they want to send you, it's up to the committee.
I've got no objection. Anybody else?
Take a vote on it then.
Same.
Well, I can't see what we can do with private car parks. You've got the Lidl's park there on 2 hours, you get a ticket.
But it's.
You go to Sainsbury's 2 hours, you'll get a ticket. Perhaps I'm being particularly thick, I'm quite happy to admit that.
The thing is,
Okay,
if somebody parks in Lidl's for 2 hours and then suddenly realises I've got to move, where do they go?
Yeah.
That's when it impacts on the public car parks or the private car
Yeah,
park.
so
You've got to look at the whole thing in the mix.
they'll go from Lidl's to go to Sainsbury's.
Yeah, and then when they run out of time, it changes to.
It's a very, very boring subject here.
Boring, it's interesting to know why. No, no. It's interesting, I'm just saying that.
It probably affects only a few people, but
Hmm.
a few people.
To me, it's more important personally, and as I say, perhaps I'm being particularly thick, not normally thick. Why we haven't done something with the station car park
Mm.
and made that into a town car park and actually had some money back for it.
Well, I'm working on that.
You know, I'm not saying you've got
Yeah.
to charge at the earth, but look at South Norfolk, you have a free hour
Yeah,
and the cars there are parked, there's a
Yeah.
lot of cars parked there and stay there.
I've got one quote in to tarmac it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for 2 others before I present that, but
Mhm.
that is the idea, isn't it?
Football club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it'd been done years ago,
yeah,
I think
you
the
would have to
councillors
meet
had
that.
actually
Yeah,
been brave enough to say, yes, go ahead, it would have been paid for by now, but they
Yeah.
won't.
yeah.
What are we looking to achieve out of this? Is my question.
Decongest the town, I would say.
And I'm going with this.
Yeah, it's a
On
good
that foot, so
question.
we just need to understand what is still really behind this, to see what we're gonna get out of it.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Councillor Farrar?
No. It's not just that, it's one looking at the survey, who parts were and why. And just an example, urban areas is totally different, but I think it applies to Asper. Most people that drive into the town centre live within 2 miles. That's it. And they try and park somewhere, which is great. But looking at 10, 20, 30, 40 years ahead, and that's what we need to do. I know, it's like walking, it's cycling, how do we integrate everything else? We need to think about it. It's a challenge.
I didn't say that, I said I'd be picking up daisies by then.
So
They're
large.
20, 30 years ahead.
So large, don't we? But it's not just parking structure in itself, it's part of the wider, how does the town grow? What sustainability? What about health? What about this? What about that? And everything else. So it's a part of the jigsaw bit plugging into the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Right.
And I
And
think-
that's
I
what we
think-
need to understand, and that this is just a bit of jigsaw. Right,
Yeah.
let's get it right,
Yeah.
but the bigger bit of jigsaw.
I mean, you hit
town
the
plan,
nail on the head, with
everything
saying
else.
that town growth, I mean, the town's going to double in size, so we need twice as many car parks.
Yeah.
I mean, very
Or
much.
do you want to encourage people that live within 2 miles?
Or discourage people from parking or driving.
Or there's alternative means that are better health. And the youth of today have got a different picture than us oldies.
Councillor Taylor.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm mindful we've got a few items to get through in 10 minutes into the next meeting street
So,
stuff. So I was just gonna say, my personal view is that in the first instance, while it's just exploring whether or not the town council and the Wrexham district council have an appetite to work together, to share data, to do all this, and to get that conversation moving forward. In the first instance, I think it probably would be preferable for it to be Sharon, Megan and officers. If there is then an appetite and it needs developing or moving forward or any sort of input, then draw members
Yeah.
in and obviously council to have all of this expertise. But I think in the first instance, a lot of it meeting was just iron it out and just get the ball rolling without making it too technical.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
the proposal.
okay,
That's
second,
it.
time.
Yeah.
All those in favour?
Yeah, unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right.
Aesthetics.
Item number 12, feedback from the community speed watch.
Yeah, I tried to find out, wanted me to find out if they're actually in operation, and I've liaised with the Community Speed Watch coordinator who does the whole of Norfolk, and she hasn't heard from the coordinator since September last year. So she's given me their email, but I've only just received that today. So I will establish contact with him, or him, I believe it is, but I'm on leave for the rest of the week, so that won't be until Tuesday onwards. Yeah, but I'll see if I can find out why they're not in operation. We'll just go from there.
Thank
Okay.
you. Item 13, digital notice boards for consideration and resolution.
Yeah, well, the digital notice boards, the one that we've got at the moment is obviously the one at Queen Square.
Yeah.
And but really in general, if we do happen to get any more, Breckland, I wanted to know what sort of what would we have the ability, or we have the permission to put use 5% of that notice board of the time,
The
so
existing
we
one.
can put things up
Mm.
there. What sort of things would you like me to put up there is what I'm asking. So I mean, ideas.
Councillor Taylor.
Yeah, so I think, and happy to be told that I'm wrong, that if we were to use it to advertise our meetings on agendas, because when someone looks at the agenda, which obviously they don't do unless they go looking for it, but if it's there ready for them just to read, there might be an item on there that catches their eye that they might be interested in. They might come along to the meeting, they might get some more engagement.
Yeah.
And also, like recently we've had some consultations, I'm sure there's going to be some with the neighbourhood plan, bits and pieces like that.
Like a notice board, newsworthy notice board.
Town news.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And possibly, when we are doing things, if there's an idea about the adventures and stuff going in, I think maybe just to show off a little bit about maybe what our brands team do.
yeah,
And what
Yeah.
they're achieving, because I think actually, when we're putting in new things in the town, whether it's just a few picnic benches or whether, it may be in a few months, London Road Park or whatever, I just think delivery of things, large or small, just to, let people know we are making changes.
Yeah.
Back to comments someone made last month about communication, could it use promoting things like the book sale?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything like that.
Yeah.
The D-Day, so.
Anything like that.
Yeah,
okay, that's great.
People see that, they're not relying on having to go on the internet.
Yeah.
Mm.
Particularly that, it says boards, we're talking about another one then, something.
Well, there, as I say, we've only got one at the moment, but there could be some coming through in future. We don't know.
So, if that's just answer that, it's reaching out to community groups, be it Browns, Scouts, or what have you, of, you know, these groups
Yeah.
exist and,
Yeah,
you know, it's,
You know, I feel we're looking for new brownies.
Yes, I've got to reply to them, so I just need to give them an idea.
I think the events
Yeah.
like, council votes and council council are good sessions, the D-Day, contesting that we do events, the dog show.
Yeah.
the Fashion show.
Anything like that.
Anything like that.
Anything like that.
Community oriented.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So we've got 5 minutes.
Good, right, okay, rattle on.
Right,
Item 14. Bench request for Norwich Road.
Yeah, sorry, that's not road.
what else does it say?
£10.
Yeah, that's for Norwich Road, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, this wasn't on the agenda, but that was pictorials for picnic benches, but no, I haven't actually got the information for any particular locations on Norwich Road, so we might have to defer that one to the next
Okay.
meeting. Okay.
Second, public participation? No, thank you. Item to the next agenda, item 16. Well, Norwich Road benches.
Yeah,
Who brought that up?
that was just a request from a member of the
Right.
public, but it has to go on this, because it's planning and highways.
Yeah.
So, but I just wondered if you could have a look at those pictorials, because there's just, it's not on the agenda, but if anyone had any objections about picnic benches on our recreation ground and gamers, I put across where we would like to put them if we get any. We've got one, but there are 4 crosses there, so if you can just have a look at that and tell me if you've got any objections, so you know where we might put them.
No objections to
Okay.
I'm not objecting them all.
Great.
carry on.
Mm.
Then I don't have to come back in future, and if we do come by 3, but one needs to be site. I think I'll cite the one that we've got left on recreation ground, seeing as we put the most recent ones on there, and then the recreation ground is furnished, yeah.
Okay, any other items to the next agenda?
Obviously, we'll have up to date.
Yeah, well, I've rolling standard
Mhm.
issues, right? On that note then, I'll declare the meeting closed. Thank you very much.